So here, so what I'm trying to do was, so this become blank. Why? Because there are no values, so it is not returning anything. So I'm trying to fresh value as a S1 as a new value. So this list is having only S1. So when I try to retain S1 and S2, S1 is there, so it will retain S1. S2 is not there, so it will not. If I add a different value, let's say I'm going to add a S3 value. So what it's going to do was, except this two, if it contains any other values, it will remove those, but it cannot add these values. If it is there, then only it can retain. If it is not there, it cannot retain. Hope it is clear, and I'm trying to execute the last one. And once we see the result, if you have any questions, let's go ahead and ask. So here, still it is a RAM only. Okay. Any questions here? Okay, I'm going to complete the remaining methods, size and toString. So size is used to measure the size of the set. So we can use this size method. Straightforward only. And then one is toString. Simple form. We can assign the set to a string value. So here, if you observe, um, so here, if you see, if you try to so if you see, so if you see here, so when I'm trying to assign this set to a string value, we cannot assign, but we can convert this set to a string and we can assign it to a string. That's what I was trying to explain here. So those are all what we have the set collection methods. Any questions we have? Okay, if we have no questions, so now I'm jumping onto the interesting topic called collection type as a map. So this is more different compared to a list and a set. So how it is different? So these are like a array, right? Set and collection both are the array forms only, but they have their own features like dynamically allocating memory. Either it will allow to perform a DML operations or not, or it will maintain the insertion order or not, or it will maintain the index or not, or whether we can do sorting or not. So these are fine. So we can maintain unique values, or we can have a duplicate values in the list. Whereas in map, it is a bit different compared to list and set, where the map is stored the values in a key and value combination. That means, let me explain you in a some graphical representation. So how it will store is, so usually like if you take example of the list, what it does, so it will store the elements in a sequential memory location. That means it allocates some memory. Sorry. And if you have an element, it will store over here, and it will say, sorry, it may be not the right example. Mm, so if I have a list that is given a size as 1, then it will be like this, and the index of it will be a 0. Okay, now I add one more value. Then what will happen? It will allocate the two spaces, like a two, what I can say, the size is double, and the first one will be index will be same as here, and second one will be a index as 1. So you having some index and value, whereas a set, you will not have index, and the value can be stored in any place, but only thing it will check is whether it's a duplicate or not, and it's trying to keep only the unique values in it. Okay, this is what the list and set. And how the map is different was, map also dynamically allocate the memory. So but what it does is, it will allocate the memory in a pair, that is saying a key and value. So here we have an index to identify the value, but in a map we'll be having a two parts of it. One is key and one is a value. So when you insert any data into the map, you have to enter in a combination. What is your key and what is your value? Okay. Similarly, the data will flow in the same fashion. Best I'm trying to duplicate it. So now I have this allocation. Similarly, whenever you have a new data, it will assign new space for it with a combination of key and value. Let's say I have um, key one as my key, and value one as my value. And now let's talk about how it will allow the values and all. So when you having a key and value a combination, so the key is always a unique value, and the value you can make a duplicate values. That means, so if you already having these values, and if you're trying to give a same key, and if you're trying to give a value as a different one, what it going to do was, it will not going to allocate a different space for it. What it does was, it will override this value. It will remove this value. In terms you can understand, when you are entering a duplicate value, it will replace the existing value with your new value. The key will be same, so you cannot enter a duplicate key value, duplicate keys here. So whenever you're having an existing key, you're trying to add multiple times to a map, then it will override it will keep the key as same, because key is same you're giving, but you're giving a different value. Then the latest value what you're trying to enter, that will be stored in a map. So in a simple terms, if I want to explain, map is a key value combination, and key is always a unique in a map. And when you're trying to add a duplicate with the same key. Whatever the latest value you were entered, that will be stored in a map. Any questions here? Give me a second. I will be back and I'll explain in a class. So let's create one class for this one. Create a new class for a map class methods. So the constructors will be a bit different compared to a list and set. Okay, go one by one. So first of all, I will go with the constructors. What are all the constructors available for the map and what is the syntax for it? The syntax for it is it will go with the keyword map and you can have two data types. One is for a key and one is for a value. So you have two data types. One is for key. So first one is a data type for key and second one is a data type for the value. So I'm going to have a let's say student map. So here in the student map, I declare. So now let's look for the initialization. So how we can initialize a map? Simple, the empty initialization, that is exactly we use the same syntax and we use a new keyword and empty function brackets to initialize the empty map for it. And if you want to like give some what I call um, so empty initialization, so we'll be having this value and we don't have a set or list that we can use to initialize it, but the second I'm going to use a student map and how we can do is new map and string comma string, and here it is not a single element, so it has to be a pair. So how it will be given is, let's say I'm going to give some roll number, let's say roll 1, that was I was trying to give, and it will be like equal to and greater than symbol, like kind of arrow, and then you have to enter the value to it. This is how we add the values to the map. Okay, we have a key and value pair. So always the first value will be a key and second value will be a value. And if I want to add multiple values separated by the comma, and let's say I have row number 2 and I want to followed by Sam. Similarly, I can add the elements into the map. Line number 20. Okay, that's okay. So this is how I can add individual elements to the map. Okay. So if I want to like initialize with a different map also, I can do that. So that is, let's say I would say my temp map equal to new map of string comma string followed by temp1 followed by so I have my temp map and so this is a new value, so I have to declare first this one, otherwise it's going to be error. um, so empty initialization, and then using elements, using other map. So how I can initialize here is simple. Instead of using all this, simply in the function brackets, I use a temporary map. Some elements, initialization. So using another map. Okay. Any questions over here? How we can use the constructors of a map? Okay. And now let's jumping onto the methods. It's very less method we have compared to a list and collection, or maybe like a different methods, I would say. Those are like clear to clear the values from the map.
Oh, Bala, quick
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So if I were to have 30 values or 40 values in my values, then the map wouldn't wouldn't it become like lengthy to write the key and the value?
Yeah, obviously, like even if you have a list or collection also, when you're having 30 or 100 values, obviously it's not a right way of initializing it. So always you have to initialize or add this array. So usually like how we put it into the map, like in practical, when we use the collections, we will not manually assign the values to it. We'll query the data from the database, and we try to store those values into any of this collection, either set, list, or a map. Or when we having somewhere we're having the data, then we will take it and we usually use the for loops to iterate it. We don't write code to hard code those many values. If you have scenarios like that, you have to write those many lines. No option.
Mhm. So if I were to, as you said, iterate something from the database, then we get the value. Then what about the key here? Key then,
Yeah, that's
you
what I
know?
was in the methods. You will get to know how to
Okay.
insert those. So how to add the values to it. So like so when you're trying the initialization itself, like this, how you have to queue. But what are the different methods to add the values to a map? For list and set, what is the method we have used to add elements to the list or collection? We use a method called a add or add all is used to add the elements. Similarly, we have a similar method to add the elements to the map also. Okay. Again, give me a second. um, okay, I'm back. Sorry. Any other questions we have? So maybe clear is not a first method we should go with, and first one we'll go with the put method. So let's say when we're having a two values like key and value, when we want to add to the map, how we can add to a map after initializing. So I have a student map and I want to add a new values to it. So how we can add is, so we use a put method, and it's going to take two parameters, and one is a key and one is a value. So here it is like this one. So we're going to use like 3, and here we go with value, and similarly we repeat. So when you're trying to insert like one values like key and value, we follow like this, like it is similar to the add method. Okay, and move on to the next method. And if you want to add from a like a different map, then we'll use a put all methods. Well, we use a put all method. So here we're going to use put all. Here we're using a different. So if you have another map and if you're trying to add it, and you can add in the using using the put all method, we can add another map to the existing map. So you have to remember always when you're having a duplicate, it will be overridden with the latest values with the same key. So that's how we use put all methods, and then followed by um, yeah. The next one we have to see is key set. So what is this key set is? So we have like combination, right? Like key and values. So when we want to only see the key values, I want to only see the keys, not the values. So how I can get those values is by using the method called a key set. And the return type of this key set is a collection of a set of the values. So the key set method is used to get all the keys. Why? Because all the keys are unique in the map, So the result will be a collection as a set of the data type of a keys. And here in this scenario, we can copy these values into a set of string. The data type of key is a string. So um, we can copy from the set of strings. Student key, student keys will be copied like this. So you can get the all key values from the map using the key set map, and the return type of it would be the data type of key with the collection as a set. That's how it will be given. Okay, and then let's say I know one key, how to get the value. So the method we'll use is a get method. So when you know the key, then the method we use is map dot get, and we will use a key. So the key we're going to use is kind of a roll number if you have. Then the data type it will return is the data type of the value, single value. So we are trying to get the single key, right? So the return type will also be a single value. So student key one equal to will get the value using. So if there is a no key, then what is the return type, whether it will be allow me or not allow me, or what will be the result is. So if the when data present, this is how it will get. If there is no data and no key present in the map, and if you're trying to get it, so there is no roll number 12, I have added it, and but if I try to get the value of using that key, the return value is a null value. You will get the null values when you're trying to get a key which is not present in the map. Okay, and now we see like how to get all keys from a map, and if you know one key, how to get the value. And if I want to get all the values from the map, how we can get? So can someone guess what should be the data type of it? And the method we're going to use is a values. So that is going to the method we'll use to get all the values from the map. This is values is what we're going to use. What should be the return type of this method? Can someone guess? It's set or list or again map. What should be the data type of this method?
Maybe set.
Wrong. Why? Because um, uh, I said like when we have key value pair, only keys are unique values, but values, it can be a duplicate values, it will be allowed. But if the return type is set, which will not store the duplicate values, so if the return type is set, you are missing some values, right? So the data type of value should be and it is a list. So where if you having the duplicates also, it will be allowed. So you will be having all the values from the map to this return type. So student values list equal to this one. So this is how the return type of the values is list and return type of key set is a set. Okay, and
I'll repeat again, please.
okay, the return type of a key set is set collection. So return type of the key set method is a set collection, and for values method the return type is a list collection. This is the one you want to repeat or everything? Did I give background about why it is list?
Yes, somewhat.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
missing something.
So in the map we have a key value pair, right? So what I mentioned in the key value pair in the map, a keys are always a unique value it will maintain. If you're trying to enter a duplicate value, it will override the value. The values can be duplicate. Let's say if in the same example, um, in the same example, I can have a same values, not an issue. Sorry. I can have a same values, not a problem. It will allow. But when I try to give a same key, then it will override the value. So in net, if I say in map, you have to give a unique value, so it will store only the unique value. The values can be a duplicate. That makes sense. Now, that's what it will store, right? So if I want to, so it will be only, these are the only valid values. So if I want to, so when I use a key set to get the values out of it, so what will happen when you're trying to use a key set? These are all the unique values, right? So the return type of those will be a set collection. While if you try to get uh, if you try to get all the values from the map, and which could be possibly might or might not be a duplicate values. If there are duplicate values also there, then it has to be allowed, right? You cannot restrict them. So the list collection is a correct data type, so that even though if it's duplicate or not duplicate doesn't matter for it. So it will be exactly same as a list, the values. Well, when you trying to get keys, it will always be a set, and values, it is always be a list.
Yeah, okay, Bob, clear.
Okay then. Okay, and jumping on here, and if you use a clear method, it is same as before. Like if you want to make it a clear method so that it will remove all the values from it, and it's going to be empty map. And then followed by, if you have a size, the method to know the size of this one. It is like if you're having some integer value, my map size, if you want to store, then it's going to be a student, that type of it's going to be a numerical value, that is an integer that you can have it in the size. And then what else we have? Clear, and we have to clone. Similarly, clone is also exactly same as how list and um, set works. If you have one more map, and if you want to copy all data from one map to another map, you can use a clone. Let's say my clone map equal to student map dot clone. Okay. So this is how we use a clone, so that exactly whatever there in the student map, everything will be copied to your clone map. And gateway scene is empty. So is empty is also used to check whether a given map is empty or not. If size is 0, that means the empty is true. So you can check is empty. So the return type of it will be a Boolean data type. The Boolean map is, I'm giving some name, and student dot is empty. Then that's what you will get. If it is empty, it will be true. If it is not empty, then you will be seeing it as a true. After clear, if you take the size after doing a clear, it will be a true value. Expected true value here, and expected false. Okay. Okay, what else we have here? Key set have put all, remove size to string values. Only remove we have. So remove is like we use a key to remove it. So simply if you say remove method, so you have to use the key value in it to remove. Let's say I have a roll number 1, I want to remove, then there is no return type for this one, and you can see this will be removed all the values from the sorry, it will remove the value that is having a key value pair with the key as roll 1, it will be removed. Okay,